She is.
What's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with MyLifestyleAcademy.com. Happy Money Monday. I am excited because I've got the amazing Tanya Aliza. Baby, can you make sure we're live in all the places? That would be awesome sauce. But really excited because I think many of you, actually, I just got the alert. We're good to go. We're good to go. I think many of you are looking forward to this conversation, especially those of you that are a little burnt out on social media. You're posting for profits, but you're not seeing the profits. Can anyone relate to this conversation? Or maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed because you don't know what to post every day. You don't know what kind of content attracts people or generates leads, closes sales. You're just struggling. You're on the struggle bus. Drop some bus emojis if you have experienced the struggle bus, because welcome to the club. It's a very normal thing. I remember when I first started learning about building a brand and attraction marketing and magnetic sponsoring and learning how to create content. And instead of being a content consumer, being a content creator. And it was just like, like I did not get it at all. I was so overwhelmed, especially when I would hear someone like Tanya Aliza talk. And I'm like, I'm just not smart with this internet stuff. Like I need to learn from this person. So I think you'll appreciate the fact that this stuff isn't actually that complicated, but it only appears that way at first. When it comes to marketing, when it comes to lead generation, when it comes to building a community, building a following, monetization. So, and this is Money Monday, y'all. So you better be fired up, jacked up, and excited. Smash that heart button if you're really excited, because sharing is caring. You're going to smash the share button, because I'm telling you, the Tanya Aliza. Let me know in the comments if you know Tanya. Let me know if you've seen her speak, you've seen her train. She is a freaking genius. She is brilliant. And some of the biggest marketers in the online marketing space will give credit where credit is due. And they learned a ton from Tanya. So I want you to be excited. I want Tanya to be excited. And I think she said the more people that are on here, the more excited she'll be. So she's at her beach house right now and just living the dream. And here's why Tanya lives the dream, y'all, because lake house, because she has systems in place. She has automation in place. And the reason I keep looking down is I'm looking at my other phone in case you guys are wondering. So I see your comments, Vicky and Nadella and Roz and Tanya. What's up? What's up? But Tanya, if you could start out, we're so excited for you to be on Money Monday. Anytime you're here, we're excited. I was wondering if you could start off before we get into the good stuff. If you could share a little bit about maybe your story prior to learning about online marketing, learning how to capture leads, learning how to do all of these things that really not only did you master, but what I get excited about is you have countless success stories of other top earners, other producers, other leaders that have created success using your strategies and systems. But we'd love for you to talk about where you were before that, because I think a lot of people will relate to that. And again, we're just so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. You guys always bring the energy and you juice me up. I was like, man, before the call, I was like, I'm a little tired. I think I need an energy drink. And now I am jacked up. Like, John, can we just all agree? John has enough energy for like 50 million people every day.
I did have a cup of that collagen coffee beforehand. A little coffee.
The trick. You let the cat out.
There it is. There it is.
And I saw some comments. Gail, I just want to give you a shout out. She shared with her group. This is going to be something that you guys will want to share with your teams, your groups, if you have communities, because as you guys saw from the title, how to generate quality leads and potential customers and prospects that actually want what you have to buy, want to buy what you have. And so this is going to be really good for not only you, but also for them too. I get jacked up every time I get to hang with the Meltons. They are truly great servant leaders in everything that it is that they do. I'm grateful to be friends with them. I consider them second family. And we get to hang in Cabo next week. We were talking about this before we hit record. And it's been a hot minute since I've seen you guys. So this is the cool thing. When you get into this kind of a profession, you meet amazing people. You get to hang with some of the best. And it's an honor to be on again inside of your community and share just a little bit about where I've come from, what I've done, and like where I'm going. Because success does leave clues, you guys. I love reading lately I've been probably for the last 4 or 5 years now, I've really been into autobiographies, mainly because I love learning from people who have walked the walk of where it is that I want to go. And their stories, like the devil is in the details of their stories. And some of these people that you want to learn from and you want to be like, like the mountains, you want to hear what exactly they did, versus somebody who's out there training like, hey, hypothetically, this might work if you do this, right? So I've been in the network marketing profession and my own entrepreneur since 2009. In fact, next month, it'll be my, 11 or 12 years now anniversary. It was November 2009. And, it was before the days of the internet, before the days of social media. And I say all the time now, people who are just getting started and becoming their own entrepreneur, if you have products or services that you're selling, you're representing, you created your own products, whatever, it is simpler. I'm not going to say easier, but it's simpler than ever with social media and with the internet than what I used to do. And so when the internet started to evolve for the profession of network marketing, I said to myself, I really want to learn how to leverage this tool. I know that there's people coming to the internet looking for the solutions of what my product and what my service can do for them. I just need to find a way to like get in front of those people that are looking for the benefits of what my product or service does. And I went down a lot of shiny rabbit trails, learning 1,000,000,001 different strategies, thinking that I had to be everywhere. I was like, oh, I got to get a profile over on Twitter. I got to get a profile over on Facebook. I got to be here. And this is before Instagram and TikToking and all this now. But I thought I had to be everywhere. And then I realized I didn't. And what I then learned is how to master like one thing, like getting really good at that one thing. And where you put your focus is where you will get your results. If you guys can write that in the comment section so you remember it as you type it, as you're taking notes, where you put your focus is where you're going to get your results. So I decided to focus on one thing. And when you start focusing on that one thing, whatever it is for you that you're really good at, it might be Reels, it might be YouTubes, it might be Facebook Lives, it might be, Instagram posting stories, like whatever, that one thing for you. Once you get really good at it, guess what? You can start teaching it. People want to know what it is that you're doing and how it is that you're getting the results that you're getting, whether they're small results or big, it doesn't matter. They're results. And people want to learn this. And that's exactly what happened with me. I started generating all of these leads in my network marketing for my business, for my products and services. And then I started to enroll a ton of distributors. And then I started to sell a ton of product. And all of a sudden, people wanted to know what it was that I was doing and how I was doing it. In fact, my uplines at the time flew in to see me because we lived in different cities. And they literally like hopped a plane and they wanted to know what I was doing. And they wanted to like sit at the table with me and learn what I was doing because they saw the results. And so after, many, many years of trying a lot of different things, I still, since 2014, you guys, focus on one thing. And I try to keep things really simple. But like John said, I'm a really big advocate for leverage and automation, because I think the biggest thing that people miss is we get into this business because we want freedom. And then we allow whatever it is, shiny objects, 1,000,001 different trainers pulling our attention in 1,000,000 different directions. We start looking at working ourselves to the bone and then going to bed at night going like, oh my gosh, like I'm so tired, I don't have the results. So I really have just focused on this one thing. And I'm excited to share with you guys today how to generate really good leads and prospects for your business. But how I'm going to teach that to you is I'm just going to kind of pull back the curtains on my 4 Ps to 7 figures. And this is Money Monday, so I thought it would be really appropriate to share my 4 Ps to 7 figures. Is anybody excited to kind of learn about what those 4 Ps are and how to make them work for your business? I got to hear your comments, guys. Like, shout it loud. Give me your favorite emoji. Mine's the champagne emoji. It is 5 o'clock on the East Coast.
Perfect time to break out the bubbly.
I know. I'm drinking water, by the way.
I know, me too.
We're getting our bikini beach bods in shape for next week.
That's right. That's right. Starving myself between now and then. That's.
Oh my gosh. So a lot of my frustrations, John, just the same as yours. And a lot of people, if you guys have these same frustrations, when I was posting on social media, when I was just learning social media in the beginning, even in my business, some of the things that I was really frustrated about was feeling and looking like a disingenuous salesperson. I am like, I like to consider myself an authentic, genuine person. I do know that I have great products and services, and I just hate coming across really salesy or pushy or like obnoxious. So this was one of my frustrations when I started to learn social media, and people were like, hey, post about your products, like post like all the time, buy my stuff, opt in, like whatever, like blah, like just. And I was like, no, like I still want to have like friends on social media. I want to have people that still like me. So I was trying to figure out like, okay, well, what the heck do I really post? And I'm going to share with you guys some things that I learned. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of good ideas in these 4 Ps. I really was frustrated with the fact that I was getting blown off in the past. So I don't know if you guys have the same things that happen to you where, you have somebody that's kind of maybe quasi interested and then they like blow you off or they disappear or they ghost you or whatever. Right. So these were things that were just annoying to me because you would spend so much time getting somebody to a certain point and then you lose them. And then you're like, frustrating. Like I spent all that time. Right. And then I really hated trying to convince people that they needed my product. I really, yeah, I know. It's like this is what really makes you feel like a salesperson then. And so I was like, okay, I need to find those people that are already looking for the benefits of what my product or service does. And if I can find those people, then I don't have to convince them that they need my product. They already know that they need my product. So it's just being a little more selective with the sea of people that are on the internet, right? So the question is like, okay, well, how do I attract the right people on social media? And how do I be the most efficient with my time when I'm on social media? Because being glued to your phone and being glued to your laptop or your device all day, every day is not a life. And then it makes you feel guilty, especially if you have a family or loved ones. Like at the time, I only had like my dog, right? At the time. I mean, now I've got like a significant other I've got to like spend time with and things like that. But I would still feel guilty, like not spending time with my dog if I was glued to this thing all day long, right? So I know she needs me, right? So what I started to do was all these little things, and then I tried to pick out of all these little things, what were the things that actually mattered, that actually that produce the most profits for me, because there's a lot of things that you're probably doing in your business right now that are not profit producing activities. They're just like busy work, right? Mm-hmm. So how do I cut the fat and just do the profit producing activities? And over the years, the many years and the tens of thousands of conversations I've probably had on social media, I kind of created this formula that I call my 4 Ps to 7 figures. And I say that confidently because now we do multiple 7 figures every single year in revenue, and that's kind of crazy to even think about. And even I was sitting at my kitchen table, John, in 2010 when I started learning social media, and I was like, with my laptop, I was like, man, if I could just get this thing to produce like $5,000 a month, that would be super rad. And now, I mean, my expenses are probably 10 times that every every month, but because the shoes, the shopping, the beach houses, the boats, but so it's funny how things can actually really, really wow you, and how this can actually really work if you implement it. And it hasn't just worked for me, you guys. It's worked with thousands of the people that I've taught this to now over the years. And if you're ever on my actual Facebook business page, you can go and read. We've got 5-star reviews, and there's like 730 something reviews of people who've been through this training, has implemented it, and it's worked for them. So I encourage you to maybe make a note to go and do that later. So I want
to say one thing about you too, Tanya, that I think is really important is that, there's a lot of big time like internet marketers out there that have systems and they teach funnels and lead gen, lead capture, all these things, but they're not network marketers. And I think the magical combo that you offer, and first of all, you're really easy to listen to. Like, you explain things in a way that makes sense. You simplify what's complicated. But the thing that people need to understand is that you are a network marketer that still earns a significant network marketing check, but you also have a multiple 7-figure business teaching others in and outside network marketing. So it's very rare. There's only like a handful of people that have successfully been to the top of a network marketing business, built the teams, done it old school and more modern with leveraging social media and the internet. And then there's the big time internet marketers out there, but it's very rare to have someone that's so well versed in both. So I just want you all to know this, because we have a lot of network marketers on, but what they don't necessarily maybe grapple, or what they struggle with quite a bit, is that network marketing combo of internet marketing, and you've mastered that. So anyway, just excited for it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, those are kind words. I appreciate that. I'm always just over here living in my bubble thinking like that's just the way that it is. But thank you for acknowledging that. Yeah, absolutely. I still implement this for anything, for my network marketing business, for any of the products that I sell, my coaching, all of that. Right. And let me just preface this. It's like whatever you're selling, it could be peanut butter. It could be health and wellness. It could be services, right? It could be coaching. It could be your own products, whatever it is that you sell, whether it's yours or you're a network marketer, whatever, this will work for anything that you're selling. Exactly. And that's the beauty. And I think that's why my client base is very diverse now. And the people that are in my world is very diverse. Okay. So if you guys are taking notes, here's my 4 Ps to 7 figures. And then I have something really cool for you guys at the end here too. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to plan. That's the first P, and they actually go in order. So I'm a very systematic trainer, right? So the first thing that you have to do is you have to plan. You might be thinking, well, Tanya, of course I've got a plan, but here's how you plan. So this is all about creating content on social media that attracts the perfect buyers, like gets people engaged with your content and attracts the right people that are interested in what it is that you're selling. Okay. So the first thing that you have to do is plan. So what's involved in the planning? And if somebody's taking notes in the comment section, put number 1, plan. All right. Who is your ideal customer? You guys have got to know who your ideal customer is. So how do you figure this out? You take a look at what it is that you're selling. Okay. So some of y'all are in network marketing companies, something like the company I'm in. We've got a lot of different products that we can actually sell. There is a lot. And some of you guys might not have that. Some of you guys might just have one thing, and it might be a little easier. One of you guys might have a lot of things, whatever. It doesn't matter. What is the thing that you are going to focus on? And it could just be what's the thing that you're going to focus on this month? So kind of break it out. This month, I'm going to focus on our weight loss program. This month, I'm going to focus on our skincare program. And what I would suggest is whatever you're kind of planning for, what it is that you're going to be promoting for that month or whatever, for a lifetime, whatever, make sure that it's something that you can actually make a decent amount of money on in that sale. So for example, if one of the things that you have in your portfolio that you can sell is toothpaste, and it's a $12 tube of toothpaste, why would you go focus on that? Because that's not going to really bring home the bacon, right? That might be like an extra indirect side piece of hustle over here, but it's not going to be like the main thing, right?
Right.
So you want to plan what it is that you're selling, and then you want to think about, okay, who would this be perfect for? And who could we focus on this month as far as like who would be interested in this? So, for example, you want to take a look at the benefits of what your product or service does, and I would label out 5 benefits just to give you guys some like ideas, right? So, 5 benefits of your product or service. So, give you an example. I used to be in this company a long time ago, and I first started doing this, and we sold one product. It was a health product. It was a drink. And people used to say it did all sorts of things, like tons of different benefits, like left arms are growing back, left ears are like I'm just kidding. But like crazy testimonials came from this product. And I was like, well, there's so many benefits. How do I focus on just like a couple? Well, I picked a couple. One of the main benefits of this product was that I was hearing all the time was that it helped people to reduce inflammation in their body. People were saying it really helped them with arthritis and things like that. So they were saying it really helped to relieve some pain and whatever. So I said, okay, if I know that that is the benefit of my product that people are really talking about, how do I go out there and find people that are interested in reducing inflammation? Okay, so this is part of my planning process. All right, so part of your planning process, who's your ideal customer? Well, in this example that I gave, people who want to reduce inflammation in their body. Okay, what are you selling? It's that thing, you got to know what you're selling for that month or whatever, or whatever you're selling. And then you got to think about what content can you create that will serve them and lead congruently into what it is that you're selling. Okay. So for example, if your product or service, or let's say your product helps reduce inflammation, you're going to, create posts that have to do with helping people to reduce inflammation, maybe foods to eat to help you to reduce inflammation in your body, give some tips on reducing inflammation, anything that you can think about. Go to Google and type in how to reduce inflammation, read a few things, and come back to your social and regurgitate that in your own words. Don't just copy stuff, but you can regurgitate some of the things that you're learning back to your audience. Now, the people that are going to be interested in that topic are going to be what? Wanting to reduce inflammation. What does your product do? Helps to reduce inflammation. I'm using this as an example. You guys all have different products, okay? So here's what you're planning. So once you kind of have that idea, you can kind of write down, 5 topics, do 5 for the week. You can do, you'll go to Google and you'll start looking at things and be like, oh my gosh, I have content for years here, decades. And then what you want to do is before you post this on social media, you have to come up with like a catchy title, right? That's the only thing that I will say, like be good at creating a catchy title that would draw in the people that would be perfect for that content or that would want that content, right? And as a pro tip, you can always just, go to Google and let Google help you, because you're not going to be the expert on reducing inflammation unless you are, maybe on here and you are. I was not. So I wasn't the expert. Where did I go? I go to the expert. My expert's Google. Okay. So this is part of the planning process on what it is that you're going to post. And see, most people completely miss the first step. They're just like, let's just post something, and they have no plan in place. If you have a plan, you will succeed. Okay. So that's the first P. If you guys are loving this so far, give it a heart, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below. Share this with your team. Share this with your people. This will really help them. So the second P is produce. Okay. So you got to ask yourself, okay, how are you going to show up consistently each week for your tribe? All right. You got to produce the content now. So how are you producing the content? Thank you guys so much for your comments. I love it. Jazzes me up. Thank you. How are you going to produce your content? And you guys know that John and Nadia teach what? John, say it.
We like video.
Video.
It's true. It's true. There's no denying it.
Yes, I am going to suggest, I know some of these video people who are scared. I know. People, I'm going to suggest video. If you can't do video, just do video. Okay. And so what you got to do is think about how are you going to show up. Now, for me, I just like how John does a Facebook Live every Monday at the same time called Money Monday. It's his show. This is his consistent content for you guys every single week. Genius. Now, I do a very similar thing. Instead of Facebook Live, though, every Monday I do a YouTube episode. And this is, maybe you're scared to go live because you're like, I can't hide anything. I can't edit anything, right? So, I do an episode on YouTube and then I put it on my blog. And then on Tuesday, I do a Tuesday live on Facebook as well. But if it was just one thing for you, I want you to write down how you're going to show up every single week for your people. Tabby says, I like podcasts. Cool. Write it down, maybe how you're going to show up live, or maybe you're already showing up live every week for your people, or not live, but how are you showing up for your people? How are you going to produce this content? Okay. I suggest video. And then what you have to do is produce the content, right? Makes sense. Produce. So you're either going to shoot the video or you're going to do the Instagram post, or you're going to do the reel, or you're going to do the TikTok, or you're going to do the YouTube, or you're going to do the blog post. Whatever it is for you, you're going to produce that piece of content after you planned it, you've produced it, and you're going to put it out there. Okay. And remember, you guys, you don't have to do everything. Okay. You might see John and Nadia, maybe myself, we are in a lot of places, right? We're doing the YouTubes, we're doing the blogs, we're doing the lives. Here's the thing. We got to that point. Don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20. Just do you. And if it's just in one place for the next 12 to 24 months, I did that in the beginning, you guys. I didn't have all the other things going on. We got there when the time was right. So where's the one place that you're going to show up consistently every single week? And then what is the time and day of the week that you're going to condition your tribe, your audience, to know when and where to expect you with what information? Okay. And really, this could be like, this month of November, maybe coming up, you're going to be like, oh, I want to talk about, it's going to be anti-inflammation month. Next month, it's going to be weight loss. December weight loss, because everyone's going to be eating too much at Christmas. We need to do weight loss December or whatever. You kind of revolve some topics around some months, right? That you have fun, that you lead into your product that can maybe help with all of this. All right. So then you produce it and you post that piece of content. So just like John right now, we're live. This is a piece of content that's going to be, once the live is over, it's going to be a piece of content that will forever live on Facebook for them. They could even download this from Facebook and post it on their YouTube now. They can repurpose it if they want to. But it's going to be a piece of content that's going to be working for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We call this #leverage. All right. Now, the third P, all right, coming into my 4 Ps for 4 Ps to 7 figures. The third P is going to be to promote. And if somebody can write this in the comment section below, the third P is promote. So this live, for example, when it's done, it'll be up on their page. Now, what they want to do, and the mountains will do, you'll see them do this because they're smart, is they will promote the content. They will share on their Instagram. They'll do a story. They'll do a reel. They'll be like, hey, guys, go over and watch this live that we just did. It's about XYZ, and you might really like it. So they're going to promote, and they're going to, you have your one place where you show up, but then you just promote on all your other places for that audience to come and watch on that place that you're going live, or you're posting your content. I'd suggest, just a side pro tip, this is where the magic happens, and this is how you leverage yourself at the greatest level, is instead of thinking you have to produce content for every platform that you're on, produce your content where your people mostly are and where you're most active, put it there. And then on your Instagram, everywhere else, whatever, promote to that piece of content. So you don't have to create content for every channel that you're on. Make it so much easier for yourself than it has to be. I don't produce different content for every single place that I'm in. We just leverage where I'm at, where I decided to go.
And I just want to throw something in there too. I mean, think about how awesome this is. This conversation, people are loving it. Make sure y'all smash that hard button. But we're live because of StreamYard on YouTube, My Lifestyle Academy Facebook group, my personal profile, my business page, and on Twitter. And then we can take this content, send out an email, like you mentioned, to have people watch the replay, and we're going to turn it into a podcast. And in addition to that, when it's over, I can also do a quick recap in my Instagram story, just kind of giving like the highlights and telling people you need to go watch this replay. So it really is funny how much we focus on creating content, but people, a lot of times, they skip that third step of actually promoting the content they created.
Yeah. And I'll give you guys a really cool little insider look of what's going on in my world right now. So my creative director, who does all the editings of my video, by the way, I highly suggest you can go to Upwork if you do video and find somebody super inexpensive to edit stuff for you. I used to edit all my stuff myself. You can do it yourself, but it's not the most leveraged thing to do. But anyways, my creative director is out on maternity leave for 2 months. Okay. So what we're doing is we scaled back the episodes a little bit. And so we haven't been posting one every week. We've been actually posting one every other week, a new one. But in between those other weeks, we've been using our old content and we've been recirculating it back. And no one even thinks we're missing a beat at all whatsoever. And so we're re-promoting our older previous content and episodes. And this is what ends up happening when you have like a weekly high value piece of content that you're putting out there. You'll get to a point where you're sitting back and your content is producing you a plethora of leads, all day long, that you may never have to create content again. You're leaving a legacy, which is awesome, right?
That's just so powerful though. It really is like when you get into repurposing and being able to reuse the same piece of content, that evergreen content, like, y'all, are you all getting some like value out of this? Like, how many of us love that language of like creating a piece of content today that's making you money and generating leads 5 years from now? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to give you guys an insider tip on how to actually do this so you're not stuck in your DM all day, every day, and glued to this device. Because after you create this content, you have to follow up with the conversations, right? So I want to share with you how I've learned to do this to create ultimate leverage, so that while I'm out on the boat or visiting with my family or whatever, the sales and the leads are still coming in without me being physically involved 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on my phone or my computer. So I'll share that with you guys in a minute. So promote is the third P, right? Just to recap. So where are you showing up? Promote it everywhere on your other channels, and then focus on the 80-20 rule. 20% of your time, plan and produce the content. 80% of your time, plan and produce. Plan and produce. That's where your 80% of your time should be, planning and producing. 20% of your time is in the follow-up and the, I had an energy drink, so my brain thinks faster than my mouth can actually talk.
Relatable.
So, yeah. So,
you do this,
20% of your time, I know. I'm going to rewind. 20% of your time, plan and produce. 80% of your time, promote and profit. And profit's going to be the fourth P. Okay. So if somebody can write down in the comment section below, the fourth P to my 4 Ps to 7 figures is profit. So it's my favorite P. I don't know if it's any of your guys' favorite P, but if it is your favorite P, give me the money
it is
emoji.
Money Monday.
Money emoji in the comment section.
Money Monday, y'all. Come on. We want them profits.
So how do you profit the most from, so as you're posting these things and you're being very consistent, consistency is the secret to this, but literally if you're producing one high value piece of content every week, it's not every day, right? It's every week. So is it Monday for you, whatever it is, you're producing that and then you're promoting it throughout the other days of the week. You're kind of telling people, go check this out, go check this out, go check this out. If you are doing this one day a week, right, you have that high value piece of content go out, you are going to have people that are going to be engaging on that content that I love you guys' money emojis, by the way. They're going to be engaging on the content and you're going to need to follow up with them and turn that conversation into a sale. Okay. That's going to be the most important. Some people just think, oh, I'll post on social media and that's it. Everyone will just jump in the boat and buy everything from me. Well, I'm really sorry, very rarely will happen. All right. We need to do something with those conversations. So we need to have a plan in place on how to profit, which is a few different things. And I'll share those with you. So one of the things actually John mentioned already is email follow-ups, right? So some people I'm going to say most people who see your content and see like what it is that you're promoting for the very first time, they are not going to buy. Right. They aren't. But they might buy if they see a second exposure or a third exposure or a fourth exposure, especially if somebody just meets you on like an Instagram reel that you did or a TikTok that you did. And they're just seeing you for the very first time. They are probably not going to buy right away, but we need a way for us to be able to follow up with them so that they do buy with a second or third or fourth exposure. So let me just share with you the struggle that I had and then how I filled that struggle. So I was posting these things on social and people were engaging. And then I was thinking to myself, well, I'm getting a decent amount of engagement, but I'm not making enough money. Like the profit part of my equation there was not where I wanted it to be. And I was really struggling with this for a lot of time. And I was on my phone constantly in my DMs, commenting on the comments, hey, somebody would like my post. And I would say, hey, what was, I said, thank you so much for commenting. What was the thing that you liked most about that you liked, and I tried to get these conversations started. Right. And I'd be glued to this all day long. And I'm like, man, I'm doing everything people are telling me to do, but I'm not making the money. So that was a huge struggle for me. And then I realized that, well, people just don't buy right away and they need some more exposures. They need to be warmed up a little bit. And I said, well, how do I get them to that point? People are scrolling on social media. They see a post, they go, yeah, I like it. And then they're gone. And then they're completely gone. Maybe they were interested or maybe they were at work and they were scrolling and they were like, okay, I don't know about this chick. And then they get distracted and then they're gone. They were interested. And so I was like, okay, well, how do I like capture their information so that I can follow up with them so that we can move them into like a follow-up sequence, right? That I can follow up with them and only bring in the people that are interested in the benefits of what my product and service provides. And I don't know how many people in your audience, John, have like a sales funnel of some sorts. We call them, there's many words for them. But my entire business model that changed my life back in 2014 is predicated on what I call now my Freebie Method. And some of you guys might have heard me talk about this, but I really want you to listen because this has really changed my world in a huge, huge, huge way. So my entire business model, when I do my talks from stage, I've got this one slide that I put up, and I show my entire business model, like a behind the scenes carton of my entire business model. And it's literally like 3 steps. So the first step, if you guys can like visualize this for me, the first step is like my valuable content. Okay. That's the first thing you're posting, your one day a week or whatever, your one piece of high value content for like Money Monday or whatever, right? And then what that used to be like is, hey, comment if you're interested and we can have a conversation. Like that would be like a call to action before. So then I kind of added a step in between the post and the sales presentation. And the step that I added was like what I would call my freebie, right? And you guys actually may have heard me talk about this, but the freebie is to build the email list and to build my credibility and my authority with my audience, and to build goodwill with my audience, and to give them something of value so that I know that they're interested in that thing that my product or service does for them. So let me build this. Let me build this for you a little bit. So for example, let's go back to what I was selling before, the thing that helped people reduce inflammation in their body. So I would talk about, health and wellness type stuff. And then I created this freebie that was called the 10 foods to incorporate in your diet that help you to reduce inflammation in your body. And so I created this freebie. It took me 1 hour to create. I went to my expert Google. Google gave me some really good ideas to put in this freebie. And I literally did a little PDF on my computer really fast, put it together. It took me about 60 minutes. I copy pasted some pictures. I kind of made it fancy. It looked terrible because I'm not a graphics designer, but I just wanted to give people good content so that they looked up to me as a credible authority. And they looked at me as somebody who wants to help them versus somebody who wants to sell them something.
Right.
And so what I ended up doing is I created this freebie 10 foods to help you to incorporate in your diet to help you reduce inflammation. And then at the end of that freebie, I had a call to action for them to buy my product with a couple of testimonials that I copy and pasted from one of our groups that we had. And I had my direct link to go and buy my product with my link. And so what I would do on my social media posts where I would, do the one piece of content a week, I would say, hey guys, if you're enjoying this and you don't yet have my free guide that helps you to reduce inflammation in your body, it's the 10 foods that you must incorporate, pick it up here. And I would drop a link and I say, hey, please share it with also anybody else that you think would find value in it as well. And what ended up happening is people like free stuff, especially free stuff that really can help them. I was generating all these leads. So people would go to a landing page, they would put in their name, their email, and sometimes their phone number, and they would request access to that guide. And then they would get that guide in their email. I would get them on my email list. And then I would have a series of emails that I would send them that would help warm them up to me and the products and services that I sell with links to buy my products. And what ended up happening is automatic sales, a lot of them. And I also had a lot of happy customers saying, thank you so much for sharing this free content with me. You were absolutely amazing. It really helped. And so immediately when you start offering immense value for free to people, they view you as a credible expert, a credible authority. They want to do business with you. They want to give you money because that you've given them free value. And it becomes a very non-confrontational, very smooth sales process. And not to mention, this created immense leverage for me because I had a lot of people just buying on autopilot. Yes, some people would send me some questions. Hey, I got a question about this that you recommended. Can you answer it for me? But I was building a list of interested people that were perfect for my product and service, not just trying to convince people, hey, you need to reduce inflammation in your body. They were requesting it for me because they knew that they needed that, right? So really, this only puts perfect ready to buy buyers in your funnel that are interested in the benefits of what your product or service does. And so one of the things, and if you guys have any questions, I don't know if you guys do questions on Money Monday, but we can actually do some questions as well. But one of the things that I called this is my freebie method. And over I've been teaching this now for 7-8 years, coming on 8 years. And I used to only teach it in person, where you could come to a workshop and I would teach you how to put this in place for your business. And now we have a really cool free training that you guys can tap into if you want to kind of get more information on utilizing the freebie method in your business with the specific products or services that you sell. And John and Nadia have implemented this freebie method in their business as well. So they love when I come out and I talk about this with you guys, because they know how helpful it's been in their business as well. So they said, hey, can you come out on Money Monday and teach this to our people? I think that would be really, really valuable. We also have a link for you guys if you want to learn more. We've got a free web class that you guys can attend. And it's open right now for enrollment. If you guys want to register, it's absolutely free. And I encourage that you check it out and share it with your people. Do you guys have the link? I don't know. Is it mylifestyleacademy.com/Tanya? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
mylifestyleacademy.com/Tanya. And the thing that's really neat about this is literally the exact example as to what we're referring to, right? This is a free offer to get on a training and learn more. And, the thing that I think is so genius about what you teach is that it really is non-confrontational. It's leading with value. It's building your personal brand, building your credibility. And, we started out doing this back in like 2013-ish. And that's how we came up with My Lifestyle Academy. We started building a Facebook group. And the only way to get in the Facebook group was to go to mylifestyleacademy.com, enter their name and email. Now we got over 30,000 people in that group over the last 8 years, built an email list. We've got our free social media recruiting and prospecting guides. And it's so smart because, like I said, it builds credibility, builds the email list. You're capturing leads. And actually nowadays, a lot of you know that we teach, TikTok and social media and creating curiosity and all the things. If you look at a lot of our top producers, whether they're building an email list or they're doing like project broadcast or, using some type of text opt-in, like there's so many more robust tools and systems in place to capture those leads. And really what it does is it builds a deeper relationship with these people that are kind of maybe casually following you. They see some of your content, but it's like, how can you connect with them? How can you capture that lead and have them join a community or be a part of, like Tanya's email list? I mean, I don't know how big it is at this point, but I know she has 100,000 people on YouTube that follow her. So again, there's 100,000 people that have hit the subscribe button to her YouTube channel, which is phenomenal, by the way. Make sure you all subscribe to that. But you got to think that like some of these people are going back and watching videos that she produced years ago, getting on her email list, getting on one of her free webinars. So now they're in the funnel, right? How many of you get excited about this? And they end up buying into one of her programs or they join her network marketing team. And there's so many different ways. If you build this email list, you build this following, there's so many ways to monetize, and you're not doing it to monetize. You're doing it to make an impact and help people. But in turn, the people you're going to help the most are the ones that are going to invest in your coaching, invest in your products, or join your network marketing team. So we all have something we're trying to sell and promote. But like Tanya said, most people are not just going to see your post and buy your product. They're not just going to see your video and go, I like them, I'm joining their team. They need to build that know, like, trust with you. And there is no better way to do this than doing exactly what Tanya teaches. And again, she's one of the best at simplifying the most complicated, part of this whole system. And it really is a system. I mean, there's internet marketers out there, guys, that literally make multiple 7 figures, 8 figures. There's huge brands out there, and their sole purpose is Facebook ads and marketing to you to find ways to get your information. Like, how many of us need to go through our own email list and unsubscribe from all those different things we've opted into that bring us no value? All they do is try to sell us all the time. So you're going to be different. You're going to stand out. And I'm telling you, if you get on this this masterclass, this webinar that Tanya put together, you're going to learn how to do it at a higher level where it won't come across as like the typical, like she said, the typical network marketer that's like got the commission breath. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, if we can answer some questions that you guys may have.
You were talking and I started, drop your questions. We can see it. But I just want to kind of paint this picture because this was really cool. Now that we've had so many, people build these freebie funnels, we can see the fruits of their labor in all different types of products and businesses that people are selling. So what we started to implement was something really cool where we teach people how to write on the next page when somebody puts in their name, email, and phone number for your freebie. We teach you and we give you a script to do a video of yourself that has a direct call to action immediately to buy your product and service. And we tell people to we tell people what to say, which is really cool. And then we put a link right underneath the video that goes to your product and service for people to buy right away. So they don't necessarily have to go to their email to get the information. They'll see your product and service that you're selling right away on the next page, which has produced immediate sales for people, which is really cool. And so, and then some
Tanya,
people,
in many cases, they're not even talking to the person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best part. There's like, I just got a sale. Like, yeah, I know. And I go, there's nothing better.
Exactly. And Monica asked, does this work for the ATM? So you guys I do the ATM. So yes, because what you can do and every company, okay, let me just say this. Every company has a different sales closing process. And the way they developed teaching this to you guys is to respect every sales closing process that I can imagine. So basically, I tell you, I say, hey, listen, whatever your sales process is, here's what your call to action needs to be. And that call to action is to suffice your sales process. So Monica, talking about the ATMs, I know that you know what that is what you would do is you would have the call to action be, hey, send me a message on Messenger and let me know that you just watched this. And now you have them in Messenger, and now you can have that conversation, put them in the group, tag them, and then message them back. And in fact, I do that. So in network marketing, you can kind of go two ways, right? You can go business and recruiting way. You can go selling product. You can have one freebie that is for recruiting, and you could have another freebie that's to sell your product. And a lot of my clients have that, and it works really well.
And I want to say this too, that because I get so excited about this conversation. This is why I started building a brand 8 years ago, because of this exact thing, this formula that Tanya's talking about. It's genius, right? How many of us agree? Like, this gets everybody excited. I've never met anybody that's like, nah, I'd hate to have a massive list of people that like, they love me, I provide value. And then when I promote something, I share something, they buy into it, right? Because they want more access to you, they trust you, etc. But like, let me give you an example for ATM for those of you asking. So TikTok, Instagram Reels, now Facebook Reels. I'm so glad it's finally here for a lot of us. Not everybody has it, I know, but a lot of us are getting it if we don't have it yet. But what a lot of the top sellers and promoters on our team are doing, a lot of the top producers, is they're using Project Broadcast to have people text message them if they want to be added to the group. Like, it's so genius. So they're capturing these leads on, like, TikTok's a great example because TikTok sucks when it comes to like connecting with people. Plus, if you wanted to ATM them, what if they're not even on Facebook, right? Or they are on Facebook, but how do you get them from TikTok to Facebook? So you can have someone shoot you a text message to your Project Broadcast. Now they're on your text list and they're letting you know they want to be ATM'd. So now you're connected with them via text, you're friending them up on Facebook, and you add them to your ATM group. So there's so many ways that like ATM helps build the list helps build ATM groups. So I hope that makes some sense for those of you that are using ATM, and actually Tanya and her team have leveraged the heck out of ATM, but doing it to coincide with building a list and building that community and the following, because it really is that much harder these days. How many would agree to get attention on social media? And if you get in front of somebody and they see you one time and they never see you again, it's a tragedy if there wasn't a way or something that you encourage them to do to take that next step to connect with you.
Yeah. And there's a question here from Brenda as well. You might have already answered this. If I'm promoting my products all on social media platforms, how can I get my customers' email/phone numbers and get more leads? So definitely, Brenda, go back and maybe watch the replay of this as well. But if you go to mylifestyleacademy.com/Tanya, I have a free web class that'll walk you through with visuals. So I'm on camera a little bit on that training, but then I show you exactly how everything works. I'm really visual, so I kind of pull back the curtains and show you how everything works. But that's the thing, like if you're on social, you're fighting for people's attention, like John said, and you might have this really good reel or really good TikTok, and you might have somebody who's really interested in what it is that you're talking about, but they get distracted. And if they didn't comment or anything, or if you didn't get them on your list, you are missing out on opportunity, whether it be project broadcast list or your email list. If you didn't get them on your list. Now, also people ask me, Tanya, how do you get so many people on your lives? You know, probably you guys asked John this, right? John, how do you get so many people on your damn lives? Like, I can't get that many people on my lives. Well, you have a list. And before you go live, you email your list and you say, hey guys, we're going live. And if you want to learn how to XYZ, this will be our topic today. Come and join the live. So now everyone on the email list that's interested in that topic, they come to the live and they're there. They're not just, it's not all organic. Of course, some of it is, but you need a way, if you're doing all this content on social, you're fighting for everyone's attention. You need a way to create this traffic and bring it into traffic you own. And the traffic you own is getting them on your list and a list that you have.
And I'm curious about this too. How many of us were freaking out when Instagram and Facebook were down for like a whole day? You know who wasn't freaking out? Tanya. You know who wasn't freaking out? Us. And sometimes people are like, what if my account gets shut down? Because there have been people, how many of us have heard of like even presidents that lost their Twitter account that had 80 million followers? Would you agree that it would probably be advantageous if you had 80 million followers to get as many of them on an email list? Because God forbid you lose your Facebook, you lose your Instagram, Twitter goes away, or something happens. You're going to wish that you had their email addresses. You're going to wish you had a way to communicate off of social media. And I don't try to create a lot of fear and live in that place of like, oh my gosh, worst case scenario. But if social media went away, if you lost one of your social platforms, would you agree that would suck, right? That would suck. You'd have no way of communicating with that database of potential customers, clients, people that, you know, want your content, but they have no way of finding it because you lost your social media. And if that was the only way you were communicating, you was in trouble. So just want to say, that's why y'all should register mylifestyleacademy.com/Tanya. And again, it's completely free. It's a masterclass that'll help you. And then she even has like, you know, more in-depth trainings and things that she does for those of you that want that next level. But man, if you can get these two to coincide, I mean, there's massive long-term potential for you never having to worry about money again. And I think, Tanya, that was the thing when I first learned about, like, because they kept saying like, build a list. I'm like, trying to be patient here, but what do they mean build a list? A list of like on paper, like a database? Like, what does it mean? And then once I understood, like once you have an email list, or again, I know some of you are using the text message lists. I still think email is the best, but I know text message is powerful too. But knowing that you're capturing these leads, you could be in a situation where, God forbid, your network marketing company goes away, but you got that list, right? You could say, hey, something happened, unfortunately, but we're doing something new. And boom, you send out one email to 10,000 people, whatever. You never have to worry about money again. If you build a community, you build a following of people that know you, like you, trust you, and you're always going to have a percentage of those people that are willing to buy from you.
Yeah. And there's some people asking, you know, how do you build an email list and what are the steps? So step one, go watch the free web class that we have, My Lifestyle Academy /Tanya, mylifestyleacademy.com/Tanya. You see the link there. On the master class, I do 40 minutes of training. I show you exactly how. And then I do have a program at the end of that training if you guys want to dive a little bit deeper. And then we've got some very special promotional pricing put on that for you guys for the mountains. And you can take the next step from there. And that's kind of like the best plan of action that I would say. But yeah, we've got some good stuff for you.
Well, we love it. We love you, Tanya, Aliza.
Oh, I love it. Thank you
You're the
for
best.
having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if anyone has any questions in specificity to, is that even a word? In specificity? In specific?
Yeah, sounds like a word to me.
It's after 4:00. The brain gets mushy over here. But if anybody has any specific questions, then just email us support@tanyaaliza.com. Find me on my Facebook page. We're good over there too. But you guys, thank you so much for having me. I truly, truly appreciate you so much. And thanks for introducing me more to your community. I love them. They're so fired up. They've always got so much energy. They must totally take some of your energy. It must rub off on them.
I think they do. I think they borrow a little bit of mine. I come through the screen pretty loud and proud, but we appreciate the heck out of you. Thank you for hanging out with us for the last 60 minutes. I know you're at the lake house and having a blast, living the dream, spending time with family. And y'all, that's what it's all about, right? Making multiple seven figures, but not being stressed out and feeling like you can't even go on vacation, enjoy your life. Like, what's the point? That's why we created My Lifestyle Academy. At the end of the day, we don't want you just to have money. We want you to have a life. We want you to have a lifestyle. So, Tanya, you exude that. You are showing everybody what's possible. And we appreciate the heck out of you. Thanks for hanging out the last hour.
Thanks, you guys. And I'll see you guys on the web class. I hope you guys find a ton of value in it. And I hope you guys found a ton of value in this. And if you want to share it with your peeps, share it with your peeps. Thanks, John. I appreciate you guys so much. Love you guys. I'll see you next week in Cabo. Bye, guys.